All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we have a phenomenal, talented hip hop artist calling in from Louisville, Kentucky. We have Raj Smooth right here, live on the line, man. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. What's happening, world? How y'all doing? Reporting live from Louisville, Kentucky. We in the building. You dig? While they going out, we going in. Shouts out to DJ Mortal in Canada. What's happening?
Hey, man, I gotta say, this right here is from the south all the way to the north connection, man. Definitely been looking forward to this broadcast here this evening.
And I appreciate, you just for include me on your platform, man, and extending that olive branch. The love is much appreciated in the USA from the States, brother. Thank you again.
But I know you're a busy individual, Smooth, so I'm going to dive right into this, man. But I got to take you back to the beginning of your amazing career this far, man. And I have to ask, what originally inspired you to pursue a career within the music industry initially?
Well, man, to be totally honest, just a little quick background on me as far as the music goes. My grandmother is actually Panamanian, you know what I'm saying? So in the household, man, it was like a lot of varieties of music that was always played from your Bob Marleys and, James Browns and here and there bits of rock bands and so forth. So I always kind of had just different facets of music placed around me. But as a young buck about 9 or 10 years old, I was just fascinated with creating it and putting words on paper, man. That's pretty much where it really, literally originated from, was just hearing so many different varieties of sounds as a kid, you know what I mean, and wanting to see what my sound could be if I ever was to develop one, you know what I mean?
And when you actually mentioned like rock bands and whatnot, did you ever actually have the have any inspiration actually get into being a rock band player, or were you just strictly hip hop? Was that like your first love?
See, that's what's crazy, man. Is like when I say rock band, it's like my mother used to listen to some Motley Crue and some Aerosmith. You know what I'm saying? Like it was in the household again, man. It was a wide variety of music. It was never just hip hop or R&B. Like it was always all over the table. So I was always just attracted to different forms of music. And also, man, I've been playing drums for over 20 years as well. So I wouldn't say I would ever want to be like a rock band guy or anything, but just live percussion and instruments and so forth really always was something that I was always involved with, which ended up turning into the hip hop scene, being a vocalist and so forth.
And also as well, on October 25th of 2017, you actually released the amazing 16-track album titled Lethal. For the listeners that might not know about this earlier release project, I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about it. And of course, is it actually still out there to be streamed or purchased today?
Yeah, most definitely. Lethal is available on all streaming digital platforms. It could be found on Tidal, iTunes, Spotify. The name that you would spell to search it would be ROG, Smooth, SMOOTH. And just to kind of get into in depth a little bit with that, actually, the thing with the project Lethal, I kind of put myself in a space to where I just felt like lyrically, like a lot of the vocals, you know what I'm saying, and the lyrics that I had laid down and wrote with that project, it was just kind of different at the time from what I was hearing. And a lot of people, this kind of is like on some music nerd type of vibe, but Michael Jackson, I was told, a lot of his albums he recorded at 432 hertz. You know what I mean? And they say supposedly it's supposed to tap into other things sonically with the brain. So that whole project, we recorded that at 432 hertz. So it kind of just gave it a different feel. You know what I mean? It was like more raw of a feeling, but just the lyrics and the beat selection and everything was just geared around making dope music. So that's why I call it lethal, like a lethal dose of music. You know what I mean?
And I gotta say, it definitely is a phenomenal project there, man. I do suggest everybody should go out and actually check that project out, man. It definitely is some fire.
And I definitely appreciate that, man. And also just while we're at it as well, on iTunes and like all streaming platforms, man, I do have actually quite a nice body of work. Again, you can search at ROG Smooth. SMOOTH. I have a project with my guy DJ Cam that's most recent from 2021 that's titled UGK of Kentucky. I have something called Dirty Diamond that I released, I believe that was earlier 2021 as well. Also, a mixtape from 2016 that's also streaming was titled Cloud9 Mixtape. That got nominated for Mixtape of the Year in Kentucky. You know what I mean? We didn't win, but we we made our mark that year as well.
And also, as well, in 2018, you actually had the opportunity to attend Coast to Coast Live. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that event. And of course, did you get the opportunity to actually perform?
Yeah, with that Coast to Coast Live, actually, it's funny that you mentioned the Lethal Project, because once we released Lethal, I started to get a little bit more streams and plays than what we normally accumulated. So they reached out, they contacted me, and we set everything in motion. And I did get to perform whenever they stopped in Louisville, Kentucky, and I did win third place as far as that goes. But Coast to Coast is a great platform. I do advise, like any artist, if it's ever in your area, or even if it may be the next city over or a 2-hour drive or something, man, if you can get booked to perform, it's not always about winning competitions, man. Network is your network. So that's a great environment to include yourself and incorporate yourself in with that Coast to Coast network if you ever have the opportunity. It's a great look for not only their platform, but it can help you a lot. And you never know who you could meet in that room. You know what I mean?
And I have to ask, who when you actually performed at Coast to Coast, who was actually on the set list with you guys? Like, who was the main act that night?
To be honest, man, it was so many years ago. It's kind of great to me, but I do remember. It was really I'm more of a guy familiar with the DJs, but he's a DJ from Louisville, Kentucky, named DJ Q. At that time, he was there kind of representing as far as for the Louisville side of things with the DJs, but it was so many artists that was in the building. It's kind of hard to really, pinpoint exactly who was there, because it was about 30 acts at that night, exactly, about 30, close to 40.
And also, as well, before we move off 2018, in that year, you actually released the mixtape titled 392 Talk that was actually hosted by DJ Juice Man. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that tape. And, of course, how did yourself and Juice Man originally get connected?
Man, I met Juice kind of on the humble. We had some familiar friends. Again, network is your network, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of had common friends and so forth, and we had actually been in cahoots for a while, but it was just one of them scenarios to where he wanted to do a tape with me. I wanted to do a tape with him. And actually, man, that tape kind of was like a real dark time in my life, man. Like, I had lost my father that year. You know what I'm saying? So that tape, some of the songs on that tape was a little more on some me vocally expressing things, but I had just got a 392 Challenger at the time. And I don't know, man, it's just like all the songs that I made was just stuff that kind of made me want to be out on the open road. That's how I was clearing my thoughts at the time, was just gassing up, you know what I'm saying, hit the highway, hit the road, doing whatever it is that I do. But that was just like the type of music that I wanted to hear at that time whenever I was driving. I know it may sound cliche, but I'm a mood guy when I make music. Like, music puts me in different moods, and that 392 Talk with myself and Juice, man, I think we got that mood across just for all the Hemi drivers and the V8 drivers, people who got, loud pipes on their cars. You in Canada, I know Canada make a lot of Dodge Hemi products and motors, so it was one of them type of projects, man. It was just for the motor heads, people who like to hear good music in their cars, man.
And also, as well, man, you actually had the opportunity to actually team up with an individual by the name of Gene to actually release a phenomenal single by the name of Madman. I was wondering, how did yourself and Gene originally get connected? Of course, what was it like just working alongside him in the studio on Madman?
But what's crazy is Gene is actually the girl that was singing. All the other vocals was me. I had met Gene back in 2015, I believe, and she's from Chicago, but she is a phenomenal vocalist. She's an even more phenomenal songwriter. You know what I'm saying? She's very amazing with the pen and how she conducts herself, but it was kind of one of them, like a lot of people that I meet musically, man, believe it or not, I always meet them not on a music time, if that makes any sense. It's always just something that has nothing to do with music, and then once they show their craft or showcase how they coming, I showcase how I'm coming, and we always end up eventually connecting and making magic. So that's how I link with Gina. And by the way, man, you did a hell of a lot of research. I gotta give you that, because you naming some of these songs that I haven't played in a few years, man. So I thank you for really doing your homework, because you definitely you reaching in the bag right now. You elbow deep in your bag, DJ Mortar. You heard me?
Hey man, I always do. I always like doing my research for the interviews, man. You know, I do so many of them, but now the research just comes naturally, man. I always say if it's on the internet, I most definitely will find it.
Yes, sir. Great work by that too, man. I can't thank you enough for that. I appreciate that for real.
And also, man, you actually have your own clothing brand by the name of FLAT for Life Always Try. I was wondering what actually made you decide to start up this merchandising company, and of course, what products do you currently have available to be purchased today by the general public?
Yeah, well, what made me begin that clothing line is actually, like I mentioned previously, around the time when my father passed in 2018, man, I was in a real dark space, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, whenever we get our backs placed up against the wall, as my brother Tone would always tell me, man, either you're going to sink or swim. So that's literally more so where the For Life Always Try came from, because I'm a firm believer that when you get content or you get comfortable or get arrogant, sometimes you can lose control, but as long as you always trying or attempting or you wanting to better yourself and you're not settling, you always going to be on top of your A game. If that makes any sense to people who may be listening, that's the brand and that's the clothing line for everybody that's been through hard times, struggle, adversity, but you always continue to push forward. We offer a wide variety of items, whether if it's hoodies, offer track suits. We offer products for women, is in track suits. This coming fall, we will have blouses and skirts for females. We also have like windbreaker jogging sets and working on denim jacket sets. Also, while we mentioning this, I want everybody who's listening, especially if you can from Canada, if you tap in right now to my clothing page, that is For Life Always Try. That is FOR Always ALWAYS Try on Instagram. If you see anything on there that's posted or, you shoot me a DM, hey, what do you got available? I can shoot you some pictures, man. I'm willing to give you a discount because we're very serious about we don't discriminate who wears our clothes. It's not a brand that's made for a certain race. It's made for everybody. I would love for some people in Canada to tap in and, take some pictures. I don't mind posting it on the website. Right now it's under construction, but we would also post you on the Instagram page again as well. Again, that is FOR Life Always Try. That's the brand, and that's what we standing on forever, man.
And also as well, man, when you brought up a few moments ago about your DJ Cam project, UGK of Kentucky, that actually dropped on September 22nd, 2021, I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this most recently released project. And do you currently have any hard copies available of it as well? That way we can actually hold the project in our hands while we actually enjoy it and listen to it.
Man, I don't actually have any hard copies available, but if anybody is like truly interested, I have no problem with getting some duplications made up and sending them out. And first and foremost, man, let me shout out to my brother DJ Cam. You can also follow him on Instagram at DJ Cam 502. He is an amazing guy, man. He's very humble. I feel like personally for artists, he is the voice of the city. Man, he's rocked like several crowds. I mean, from old to young, weddings and big 50 birthday parties, like any type of vibe that you need, man, my brother can present it. But not only that, he is an amazing DJ, man. He's a historian of the game. And a lot of times I don't think he gets enough credit, man. He's very, very humble. You'll never see him like tooting his own horn, but I can't thank him enough. I've been knowing Cam for over like 15 to 20 years. And with the whole UGK of KY thing, man, it was kind of like here in my city, man, where I'm from, a lot of people, it's kind of more so ego-based. And that's not a shot at anybody because you're supposed to be confident in what it is you're doing. You dig what I'm saying? But with the UGK of KY, it's actually, in commemoration to Pimp C, meaning Underground King of Kentucky. And what that means is I may not have like radio play or a big radio buzz, but as far as in the streets and as far as on the underground level, it's not a place that I haven't been to perform. It's not an artist that's out here that's either ain't rubbed elbows with me or I haven't worked with or we haven't been in the same venues. As far as grinding with this music, everybody in my city knows what I do. Some may not admit it, but they know who I am, man. They know how I'm coming. I've never really been the type of guy to try to use people to get over. You know what I mean? I believe in standing firm on my own. I don't really do like the click hopping thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm very firm on just being true to self and being genuine to other people, bro. You know what I mean? So that UGK is just a project to where I was kind of really popping. You know what I'm saying? I was really popping, like showcasing I can do any type of music. I can make hype music, calm music, music to make you think, music for the club, music for when you're chilling with your lady. Like, I went all over the board just to show you that we feel like, meaning me and my team, we feel like I'm a king as far as the underground goes with the music scene in Louisville, Kentucky, whether some want to admit it or not. I got over 16 projects streaming right now just to validate that claim. You know what I mean?
And I gotta say, just pertaining to UGK of the West, man, the one song I really enjoyed was actually "Smooth as I," man. Definitely a dope joint.
I appreciate that. That Smooth as I, man. That was one of the ones I was turned on there a little bit.
But I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself, Raj, man? Is there anything we happen to miss during tonight's interview? Anything else you do still want to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the Canadian FM dial this evening.
Most definitely. What's coming next is here I would say more so around fall of 2022. Me and DJ Cam, I have a double disc project. We really haven't figured out what the rollout will be for it, but it will be like a 2 CD project. One will come out at one time, and one will come out at another time. You know what I'm saying? As far as that with me and Cam. And also, man, it's a guy that I want everybody, if they own right now, you know what I'm saying, and they support what I'm doing, they got to support my brother, man. His name is Stone Cold Kasem on IG. You know the rascal Stone Cold? It's STONECOLD Kasem, KASIM. Man, he's a phenomenal talent. He has a sound that I truly feel like if Canadians love me, they'll love him even more. And I know in this day and age, a lot of people don't like to give other artists their flowers, man, but this is my brother, and anything he creates, I 100% support it. I stand on it, and I really need everybody. He's also streaming as well on iTunes. His name is Stone Cold Kasem on IG, and on his iTunes, his name is Cutthroat Kasem. That is CUTTHROATKISKASIM. He's a monster, man. Like, if you ever get a chance, I actually would recommend that you tap in with him as well, DJ Mortal, man, and just give him some spotlight, because he's an amazing artist. He has a hell of a sound, man, and like a lot of things that he does, it's very, very catchy and unique, and his wordplay is very immaculate. He makes the type of music that should be. It's more wavy and vibey, and the foreigners might really dig it a lot. You know what I mean? Just the sounds and his beat selection. That's really what's going on. We also have a project that's coming soon called Smooth Cut. If you wouldn't mind, man, whenever we get finished, we would love to actually send you some cuts off of there just to let you check out and do what you please at them, if you don't mind, man, if that's cool with you.
Hey, most definitely, man. If you send it, we here at Outlaw Radio FM are definitely going to spin it, man. I'll shoot you my email. And also, as well, shoot me some links to your brother as well, man. I'll definitely check him out.
Most definitely, I will, man. And again, just humbly, brother, from Louisville, Kentucky, man, all the way to Canada, man. We really appreciate what you're doing. And I'm pretty sure all the other artists out here really appreciate it, because a lot of times a lot of people are not willing to share their platform, man. So we definitely got to make sure you get your flowers while you can smell them. You dig?
Hey, man, I got to say, I definitely can smell them this evening, brother. But also, before we actually part ways, man, this is the time to interview quickly that I give a chance for the individual that does slide into the radio station airwaves. Just a chance to give, like, shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you got going on, if they're not already doing so.
Most definitely, man. I'll start with the shout-outs. Is that cool, DJ Mortal?
Hey, man, whatever order you like to go, man. It's all up. You got the floor.
Man, I got you, man. First and foremost, man, again, I would really, really, really like to shout out my brother, DJ Cam 502, man. Bro, I love you. I appreciate everything you've done, man. I appreciate everything you're going to do, whether with myself or for yourself, bro. Keep grinding, keep representing for the city and for the state of Kentucky. And also, I would like to shout out again, man. I got to shout out my little brother, Kasem, man. I see you, bro. Keep your head up. No matter what come your way, little bro, continue to keep pushing. And last but not least, man, I would have to shout out my clothing line and just, you know, again, if anybody really wants to tap in and wants to check out some of the merch, just know, man, it ain't all about $1 with me, man. It's about the support means more to me than the profit. The profit to come. You know what I mean? You can follow me right now on my Instagram handle. That is For Life, FORLIFE, always ALWAYS, try TRY. On Facebook, my name is Rod Smooth. That is ROG, smooth like butter, you dig? And on Twitter, my Twitter is Panama. That is PANAMA music, MUZIK. Man, tap in, man. Talk to me. I talk back, man. I ain't Hollywood. I'm from Louisville, you dig? So that means if you speak, I'm speaking back to you, man. You hear me?
And I gotta say, first and foremost, Smooth, thank you so much, man, for just, giving us a bit of your time here this evening and sliding into the 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM dial, man. It definitely was an honor and most definitely a privilege, man. And hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Definitely will, man. And before we get up off here, man, I want you to make sure you shoot. You know what I'm saying? Send me an email over, brother. I definitely got you. And that olive branch you extended will never be forgotten, man. If there's anything I can ever do, whether you need some drops or something, man, I do voiceovers, drops, etc. You name it, bro. You got it. You hear me? It's yours, bro.
Hey, man, I definitely appreciate that offer, man. Anything you need radio-wise as well, don't hesitate to reach out. You know, down here in Canada, we definitely got you.
Man, I appreciate it. I want everybody to know, man, while they going out, we going in. You heard me?
Hey, most definitely, man. Thank you so much again, and definitely have yourself a phenomenal night, man. Phenomenal night. We definitely shall talk soon.
Man, you too, brother. Love.